I'm having a thought, so I figured I would make a YouTube video and do some cinnamon rolls. I have a really great discard cinnamon roll recipe, but I'm sitting here thinking about it. Why make anything bread with discard when I can use active starter? I feel like I should be using discard for things that are not bread. I don't know, that might be crazy. She's peaked right now, but I'm gonna do an overnight rise. So we're just gonna let her chill out. And later tonight, I'm gonna start some cinnamon rolls. We're gonna find a new recipe and try it out. So I'm taking you along with me. Okay, I'll see you tonight. If you are in the sourdough world, you might have heard of the Clever Carrot. It's a website and they have the best recipes ever. I've made their sourdough banana bread and that came out so good. So we're gonna try their cinnamon roll recipe. Oh. So we're actually gonna use my KitchenAid mixer for this one. So let me go get set up for that. So we are going to start with 160 grams of whole milk and 28 grams of unsalted butter. The key here is to melt the butter, have it cooled off and not hot. Apparently if it's hot, the dough gets really sticky. So we're gonna start with mixing those two. I have my 28 grams of butter. So now I'm gonna add 160 grams of whole milk. Okay, we're gonna let our milk and butter mixture just hang out over here. I'm gonna combine 1 egg, 100 grams of starter, 24 grams of sugar, and our KitchenAid mixer with this attachment. I'm gonna stop that in case I don't know how the audio is gonna be. That is so raunchy looking. Looks like chunky milk. While this is mixing, I'm going to slowly dump this in. This is totally cooled off at this point from the cold milk. So we're gonna dump it on in. That was not slow. Ugh. Okay, that's all in, and now we're gonna add flour and salt. 300 grams of flour. You can use bread flour or all-purpose. Turn the mixer back on, and then just slowly add our flour and salt. So I let that mix for a minute. Now what are we doing? Supposedly we let this just sit for a half hour, and then we're gonna switch to a dough hook and knead it for 6 to 8 minutes. So it looks sticky to me. Okay, so here, let me look at this. Here's what we got in the bowl. It looks really wet to me. Kind of doubting it. The dough looks very wet. I've made cinnamon rolls before. Normally it's like a really firm dough. So we're gonna check back in 30 minutes and we'll see what we're working with. Okay. So here's what it looks like after resting for 30 minutes. Put the dough hook on and we're gonna let this knead for about 6 to 8 minutes. Kneading for like 2 minutes. I'm just gonna scrape the edges of the bowl. Eight minutes is up. It's a lot tackier than I'd like. I decided to add some flour on top because it was just way too tacky. So I put some on top and we're just gonna knead it and see if it gets a little bit better. Added a little more flour and the dough is much easier to work with. It's not as sticky. It's definitely stickier than I'm used to, but we'll keep it because I don't want to dry them out. The recipe that I'm following, they use unsalted butter every time that they use butter. So I use unsalted butter and I'm just gonna rub it on the bowl. I'm gonna transfer the dough into my buttered casserole dish. It's sticky, but you form it into a ball to hold it. Trust the process, if you will. Here she lays. We're actually gonna do one round of stretch and folds. I'll see you in 30 minutes. It looks about the same. It's been 30 minutes, so we're gonna do one round of stretch and folds. Oh my God, it is so buttery and soft. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't add any more flour. They feel incredible. I have a very good feeling about these. So So we are gonna let this bulk ferment overnight, and we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. My kitchen is so cold, it's 62 degrees, so, but it is like, oh my God, it smells so good. It is very stiff. So I just turned my oven on and I put it up here to kind of get it up to what should be room temp. I'm just gonna leave it here for about a half hour and we'll check back in a bit. It's 10:30, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot, but it does look a little more close to being double. We're gonna go for it. First, I'm gonna make the filling, which consists of 28 grams of unsalted butter, 100 grams of sugar, 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, and a tablespoon of flour. So here I'm going to mix all those ingredients together, and then when you're done, it should be a nice crumbly mix like this. Okay, let's get to it. You're gonna roll the dough out to be 12 by 16. Perfect. And now that I have a nice rectangle, I'm going to take the filling and just spread that out onto the dough. You wanna make sure that you get the filling all the way to the edges, especially on this 16-inch side, so that your cinnamon rolls on the ends get some love too. And then using the bench scraper seems to be key here because the dough starts to stick to the table a little bit. So it just helps to push it up so you can roll it nice and easy. Just gonna fast forward here. And then once you get to the end, you're gonna take that end of it and just kind of pinch it onto the roll. Keep that filling in there. And then I broke out the tape measure. I wanted to get 2-inch cinnamon rolls, and for some reason ended up with 7. I kind of realized that as I rolled it, I was squishing it, so maybe don't do that, but I got a bonus cinnamon roll out of it, so that's okay. And now we're just gonna transfer the cinnamon rolls into the cast iron dish. I definitely recommend putting parchment paper underneath it, just because it gets a little sticky. Okay, I was using my 8-inch cast iron, but filled the pan like I thought it would, so I switched to my 7. Okay, so here's the cinnamon rolls. Now they have to rest in this pan for 1 to 2 hours before I can bake it. Other option is you can wrap it really tight in saran wrap and put it in the fridge or in the freezer until you want to bake it. This is a really great option for like Christmas morning. That's actually why I want to try that next. But I do want to have just a baseline to see what it tastes like fresh. So I'm gonna let this sit. It's 11 o'clock right now, and I'm gonna check it probably around 12:30 and see if it's a little more full and fluffy looking, and then we will bake it and make the glaze. Here is what the before the second rise looks like. Oh my God, they look so tasty. All right, it has been an hour and a half. We're gonna bake these bad Larrys. 350. All right, I think that we are good. I just temped it and it's around 210. So I wanna pull these out. We're gonna let them cool and make the glaze. All right, so we're gonna make the glaze, which starts with 2 tablespoons of butter. Again, unsalted. I melted our butter, and now we're gonna do 1/3 cup of the whipped cream cheese at room temp. So I pulled this out like a half hour ago. And then it says between 1/4 and 1/2 of a cup of powdered sugar. I guess I'll start with the 1/4 cup. Okay, everything's in the dishwasher, so I'm just gonna do 1/3 cup. I figure that's in between 1/4 and 1/2. So 1/3 cup of powdered sugar. And then a tablespoon of whole milk, and then mix it with a hand mixer. Okay, moment of truth. Sourdough cinnamon roll using active starter. Wow. That's so good. Try bite. You like it? Mm-hmm. It's like it has that nice like sour taste to it, and the cream cheese in the glaze is so good. I don't think I've ever had a glaze that had cream cheese in it. Oh my God. The Clever Carrot does it again. I'm gonna put a link on the bottom of this video to their full recipe because that is so good.